Imagine having the power to control your emotions, your mindset, and your financial future all at once. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets to mastering these three key elements and unlocking your true potential for success. The power of control is the defining factor between those who succeed and those who struggle. Most people are not failing in life because they lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They fail because they never learned how to take control of the three most critical forces that shape their destiny: their mood, their mind, and their money. These three elements dictate how a person responds to challenges, makes decisions, and ultimately determines their level of success. When a person lacks control over these areas, life becomes unpredictable, frustrating, and overwhelming. But when they master them, they step into a life of purpose, stability, and success. Think about the moments when emotions have gotten the best of you. How many bad decisions have been made in the heat of anger, frustration, or fear? A single emotional outburst can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and push success further away. People who lack control over their mood live their lives like a boat in a storm, constantly tossed around by external forces. They react instead of responding, and their lack of control leaves them vulnerable to regret. Successful people understand that emotions are real but must never be allowed to take the driver's seat. Instead of being controlled by feelings, they train themselves to pause, evaluate, and make decisions based on wisdom rather than impulse. The mind is the command center of life. Every action, every decision, and every success or failure begins in the mind. A person who has no control over their thoughts is like a house without doors, open to any intrusion, whether good or bad. The way a person thinks determines their future. If they constantly focus on problems, obstacles, and limitations, they will live a life filled with struggle. But if they learn to shift their thinking toward possibilities, solutions, and growth, they unlock a level of success that most people never reach. Controlling the mind means developing the discipline to guard what enters it. It means choosing to feed the brain with knowledge, wisdom, and constructive ideas instead of negativity, doubt, and fear. Money is another major force that shapes a person's life. Those who do not control their money find themselves controlled by it. Many people struggle financially not because they lack income, but because they lack discipline in managing what they have. Without financial control, life becomes a cycle of debt, stress, and missed opportunities. The difference between the wealthy and those who struggle is not always about how much they earn. It's about how they think about and handle money. Financial control means understanding that money is a tool that must be managed wisely. It means learning to save, invest, and multiply wealth rather than simply spending everything that comes in. The power of control is the foundation of a successful life. Mastering one of these areas brings improvement, but mastering all three, mood, mind, and money, creates a life of true stability, freedom, and impact. The question is not whether control is possible. The question is whether a person is willing to take responsibility and develop the discipline required to master these three forces. Your mood is one of the most powerful forces in your life. It affects how you think, how you act, and how others perceive you. It influences your decisions, relationships, and even your financial future. Yet most people allow their mood to control them rather than learning how to control their mood. They wake up feeling unmotivated, and that sets the tone for their entire day. They let frustration dictate their responses, leading to arguments, missed opportunities, and regret. They allow stress to overwhelm them, clouding their judgment and preventing them from making rational decisions. But those who understand the power of mood realize that it must be managed with intention. When your mood is unstable, your life becomes unstable. Have you ever noticed how a single bad mood can ruin an entire day? A person who lets their emotions run wild will find themselves constantly shifting between motivation and discouragement, confidence and self-doubt. They may have the potential for success, but their inconsistent emotions hold them back. On the other hand, people who have learned to regulate their mood maintain control over their lives. They don't allow external situations to dictate their emotions. Instead, they develop the ability to remain calm under pressure, stay focused despite challenges, and push forward even when they don't feel like it. Successful individuals understand that emotions are temporary, but decisions have long-term consequences. Acting on emotions alone often leads to regret. A moment of anger can destroy a relationship. A moment of fear can cause someone to miss an opportunity. A moment of frustration can make a person give up on something valuable. This is why controlling your mood is not just about feeling better, it's about making better choices. If you allow emotions to control you, you will always be at the mercy of circumstances. But if you learn to control your mood, you take back your power. Controlling your mood does not mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding them, processing them, and responding wisely. It requires self-awareness, the ability to recognize what you're feeling and why. It requires emotional discipline, the ability to choose a response instead of reacting impulsively. It requires mental strength, the ability to shift your mindset when negativity tries to take over. One of the most effective ways to control your mood is to develop habits that stabilize your emotions. Exercise, meditation, gratitude, and surrounding yourself with positive influences can all help regulate emotions and prevent mood swings from taking over. Your mood is like a thermostat. If you don't set it intentionally, external circumstances will set it for you. People who learn to control their mood gain an advantage in every area of life. They make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and remain focused even in adversity. The key is to recognize that emotions are a tool, not a master. When you learn to use them wisely, you unlock a level of stability and success that most people never reach. The ability to control your mood is not just a skill, it's a necessity for those who want to live a life of purpose and power. The mind is the most important battlefield in the pursuit of success. Everything you want in life begins with how you think. Your thoughts shape your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your results. When you lose control over your mind, you lose control over your life. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest enemy if left unchecked. If you constantly feed your mind with negative thoughts, doubts, and limiting beliefs, it will create a reality of fear, failure, and missed opportunities. On the other hand, when you master your mind and control your thoughts, you open up a world of unlimited potential. The greatest wars are fought within the mind. Every time you face an obstacle or challenge, your mind is where the battle is won or lost. The thoughts you entertain will either push you towards success or keep you stuck in mediocrity. How many times have you stopped yourself from pursuing a goal because you believed you weren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough? The truth is, your mind is always shaping your reality. If you think you can't, you won't. But if you think you can, you'll find a way. Mastering your mind begins with self-awareness. The first step in controlling your thoughts is understanding them. Too many people go through life without ever questioning the things they think about themselves or their circumstances. Their minds are filled with autopilot thoughts that dictate their behaviors without them even realizing it. Most people are not even aware of the negative, limiting beliefs that hold them back. These beliefs are often shaped by past experiences, fears, and failures. But they are not the truth about who you are or what you can achieve. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, those are the thoughts that will dominate your mind. But if you plant seeds of confidence, faith, and possibility, those will flourish and guide your actions toward success. Controlling your mind means choosing what to think about and how to respond to challenges. It means reprogramming your mind to focus on solutions rather than problems, opportunities rather than obstacles, and possibilities rather than limitations. One of the keys to controlling your mind is to feed it with positive, empowering thoughts. You can do this by surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, consuming content that motivates and educates you, and developing a habit of gratitude and mindfulness. The more you feed your mind with positive input, the stronger your belief in yourself and your potential becomes. Over time, you will replace the limiting thoughts that once held you back with thoughts that propel you forward. Training the mind is not an overnight process. It requires practice, persistence, and discipline. Every time you catch yourself thinking negatively or doubting your abilities, take a moment to challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is this thought true? What's the alternative? Over time, you will develop the ability to control your thoughts rather than be controlled by them. The power of your mind is limitless. When you learn to control it, you unlock the door to a life of success and fulfillment. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions create your reality. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thinking. Master your mind, and the world will open up to you in ways you never thought possible. Money is one of the most influential factors in shaping a person's life, yet so many people live under the illusion that money is the root of their problems. The reality is that money is just a tool. It is neither inherently good nor bad. It all depends on how you manage it and how you allow it to influence your life. Those who are financially successful do not worship money. They understand that money is a means to an end, not the end itself. They control their money rather than letting it control them. Unfortunately, most people do the opposite. They live in a constant cycle of working for money, spending without purpose, and then scrambling to make ends meet. They view money as something to be acquired and spent immediately, never taking the time to master it. This mindset keeps them in a perpetual state of financial struggle, unable to break free from the limitations that money brings when it is not understood and controlled. The problem with this approach is that it traps people into a financial reality where money dictates their choices, their freedom, and even their happiness. When money controls you, you are forced to make decisions based on fear and scarcity. You may take a job you don't enjoy just to survive. Or you might find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, constantly worried about bills and expenses. This mindset of scarcity leads to stress, anxiety, and missed opportunities. And this mindset of scarcity leads to stress, anxiety, and missed opportunities. On the other hand, when you learn to control your money, it becomes a powerful tool that enables you to live a life of freedom, purpose, and fulfillment. Controlling money begins with understanding that money is a resource, not a master. If you do not manage your money, it will control you. Successful individuals understand this principle, and they treat money as something to be managed, invested, and multiplied. They don't live for the paycheck. They use their income to build wealth and create opportunities. Financial control requires discipline and planning. You need to live below your means, set clear financial goals, and prioritize long-term security over short-term gratification. Saving and investing become priorities, not optional choices. The path to financial mastery begins with mindset. How you view money shapes how you treat it. If you see money as a scarce resource that is difficult to obtain, you will always struggle with it. However, if you view money as an abundant tool that can be used to create value, solve problems, and provide for your future, your approach to money will be vastly different. Financially successful people believe in abundance. They understand that money is not limited and that there are infinite opportunities to generate it. They look for ways to make their money work for them rather than simply working for money. Developing financial mastery also involves learning how to manage debt. While debt can be used strategically to build wealth, for most people it is a source of stress and limitation. When you are in debt, you are bound by your obligations, and your financial freedom is compromised.